We're the partner our clients count on. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Miami area attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cartus, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
On Wall Street, rising stock futures had suggested a rebound after a long holiday weekend, but that is not happening. The Dow is down 200 points. The S&P 500's off by 22. The Nasdaq's losing 110 points. And the man who rang the opening buzzer for the Nasdaq to begin trading did it virtually from far away. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who, in fending off Russia's invasion, urged investors to help.
Ukraine is a place for good investments and financial opportunities. I invite you to Ukraine. Invest in Ukraine. This will be your victory and a new success story for your companies.
Now, there's still been more shelling around the Russian-controlled Ukrainian nuclear plant, feared to be in danger. The price of oil this morning is up slightly, still around $87 a barrel. Gas is down again. It's now fallen every day for 12 weeks since June's record, now $1.24 less. AAA's national average for regular is around $3.78 a gallon, still 60 cents more than a year ago. They're still working to repair a flood-damaged water treatment facility in Jackson, Mississippi, where people are still told not to drink what comes out of the tap, and there is a similar issue in Maryland.
Baltimore City health officials say the water is safe to use for bathing and washing clothes, but the danger is in consuming it, which is why they're telling people to boil their water for at least a minute before using it. That means drinking water and water used to wash dishes. Public Works officials say the E. coli source is not the city's water treatment or wastewater treatment plants, but they're still investigating. City officials say they have not received any reports of people becoming sick in the affected area. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
At tennis's U.S. Open, the number 2 men's seed, Rafael Nadal, is out. Upset by American Francis Tiafoe on ESPN.
I'm just happy I got a win today. In front of my family, in front of my mom, my dad.
Tiafoe moves on to the quarterfinals. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
In 1 minute.
WPTV's First Alert Weather on WSTU is Sailfish Roofing, 772-263-ROOF. Community roofing company you can trust. Sailfish Roofing. Now here's WPTV's First Alert meteorologist.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast this afternoon, highs in the low 90s, heat indices in the triple digits. We'll see some showers possible near the coast through the late morning and early afternoon, then rain and storm activity pushing west throughout the day. Tonight, temperatures once again dipping into the upper 70s to low 80s, and we're mainly dry into the overnight hours. Tomorrow, a similar weather day with some showers near the coast through about lunch, then pushing west for the afternoon hours. Highs in the low 90s over the next 7 days ahead. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, and thank you, beautiful people out there on the Treasure Coast and in 47 countries that are tuning in. Thank you for being with us this extraordinary Tuesday morning, September 6th, a day after Labor Day. Hope everybody had a great and safe Labor Day weekend. And we thank you for tuning in to the world's greatest
Quality of Life Radio show.
That's right. What a great voice that was. I am your host, Gary Owen, and who is that voice?
Well, I'm your co-host, Evan Nine, sitting in for Tom the Bouvier.
Bouv is on his way back from Alaska, and I know he's probably in Florida by now, arriving in Orlando International Airport. So it'd be good to have the Bouv back from his great fishing trip. And by the way, we are streaming live here in the WSTU studio on WSTU 1450 AM, as well as WPSL 1590 AM.
And, of course, we have 3 segments to the hour-long show. First, we're going to bring you relevant content to our listeners to support and showcase our local businesses, nonprofits, and community leaders.
And wait till you see who we have on the show with us this morning. And the second part of our show, we're going to share a great quote of the day, a fun health fact that you should know. And also, we're going to do 10 fun facts about Labor Day.
Ooh, like the idea first became public in 1882.
1882, the idea came to Americans, right?
Like
the
that.
labor force. And then the third part of our show, we're going to share with you some information and education that you're going to need to know. We call it Medicare Straight Talk. We're Insurance Straight Talk. So whatever it is that you need to know, we're going to share with all of you here this morning. In fact, today we're going to talk a little bit about the Medicare AEP, the open enrollment, and the individual health insurance, or Obamacare, or ACA, Affordable Care Act. We're going to share some information with all of you here this morning about that and what it means to you with the new IRA that was signed into law, the Inflation Reduction Act. So we thank you for being with us this morning. And so without any further ado, I'm excited a little bit. Feel humbled to have this gentleman in our studio this morning. It's an amazing history that this gentleman has. We're gonna actually, I think what I'll do is I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know of somebody who served 35 years in the military, who served as an NYPD commissioner, who served on the Homeland Security, who earned 3 Purple Hearts, a Silver Star, and a plethora of other service awards and medals, and worked directly under General Colin Powell, and is as nice as a guy that you can ever hope to meet. And now he's making a difference in the lives of other veterans. So it is my honor and privilege this morning to introduce to you Lieutenant General Frank Labuti. He is the CEO of Horses and Heroes of Southeast Florida. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning, sir, and good morning to your many fans and supporters. I'm honored and privileged to be with you this morning, and I thank you for this opportunity to talk about Horses and Heroes of Southeast Florida.
I can't wait to learn more about it in our listening audience, but we'd like to know, like, the rest of the story, Frank. So you got your start back in 1966, a year before I was just in a twinkle in my parents' eyes, because I was born in 67. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, let me tell you that I grew up in a large Italian Catholic family on Long Island, a place called Huntington, New York. Went to the Citadel, graduated in 66, and joined the Marine Corps with a view towards serving my country in Vietnam. I was very, very lucky, and I must say that if I had to write a book, it would be called Lucky 3. 3 Purple Hearts and survived because of the great skills of the troops around me, and then I was fortunate enough to become a 3-star general in charge of all Marines on the Pacific and all the Marines in the Arabian Gulf, and responsible for all Marine Corps bases in the Pacific. When I finished the Marine Corps after 35 years, I was asked to join my friends at NYPD and become the Commissioner of Counterterrorism in New York City, and did that for about a year and a half or so. And then I was asked by the Bush administration to be one of the 4 undersecretaries at the Department of Homeland Security focused on domestic intelligence and critical infrastructure protection for our country. When I finished that, I ran a company in Huntsville, Alabama, about 300 folks, and did that for a year or two. And then went up to New Jersey and ran a service-disabled veteran-owned small business focused on the VA and support for the VA, on the pharmaceutical companies, as well as other companies supporting things like repair to the different sites in New York and Long Island. The gas pipelines was one of them that we supported, and it worked out real well. I left that about a year ago, and now here, very happy in Stuart, Florida, and privileged to be the CEO of Horses and Heroes of Southeast Florida. And let me just share with you in simple terms our mission. Mission of Horses and Heroes of Southeast Florida is to gently empower personal development in the lives of veterans and first responders, helping them to connect to the community through the benefits of equine-assisted learning. And the bottom line, which we are so proud to share with folks, is this: connecting the soul of the hero with the spirit of the horse.
That's pretty cool. So really what it sounds like to me, Frank, is that you really haven't done a lot. I mean, my head is spinning. I mean that is absolutely amazing.
Well, what I learned along the way from my troops, not just from the generals and colonels that I was around for 35 years, but I learned that you need to be thoughtful, you need to be a good listener, you need to wake up in the morning and take a couple of pills. One pill is called wisdom, and the other pill, you take 2 of these pills, and it's called humility. You got to learn how to support the mission and take care of your troops or your employees and their families. That's the bottom line for me.
It's amazing that you can take a pill for wisdom, because I thought it takes, like, it's a huge pill. It's hard to swallow. It takes a long time to get that down and to have that wisdom. And I like that, 2 pills of humility. It's amazing. I think our leaders need to take probably double up on the pills of humility.
Yeah, again, it's back to being a good listener. That's where it starts. Yeah. And trying to create an environment where people feel comfortable expressing themselves, but also focusing on the bottom line, which is what is the right thing to do for our city, for our state, for our country, and not get wrapped around the axle politically. I'm not a political guy. Right. I am indeed an independent. But I just get disappointed sometimes with our leaders across our nation who don't seem to get it.
Yep, I agree 100%. And then tell us a little bit about General Powell, because that would be one individual I wished I could have met.
Yeah, when I was a colonel, I was assigned to his personal staff. And let me tell you, he was the best of the best. His leadership was off the chart. He was compassionate, had great empathy for people, gave strong mission statements, got out of the way, and let the folks around him execute the requirements on the mission. I'll tell you a quick General Powell story. When I was at Homeland Security, General Powell was the Secretary of State. And there was a meeting at the White House, and I was to attend with Tom Ridge, the Secretary of Homeland Security. And General Powell came in one entrance to the Situation Room, and the Secretary of Homeland Security and I came through another entrance at the White House. And as we got ready to go in the Situation Room for the meeting, General Powell shouts out to the Secretary of Homeland Security, "Hey, who's that knucklehead you got with you?" And we all started to laugh, and I walked up and I said, "General Powell, how are you, sir? I love you." He says, "I love you too, Frank. Let's go to the meeting." The guy had such charisma and leadership. It's very difficult to even talk about it in a word or two. Sure. He was just the best of the best.
That's amazing. That's a great story. I think that you should try to find some time to eke out putting that book together. I think that would be a phenomenal book, quite frankly. So, all right. Now, we're right here together in the studio, and, you're supporting, and you're the CEO of this great organization, Horses and Heroes. Tell us a little bit about how that came into existence, why you're so passionate about it, and what happened to you in your life that kind of reflects why this is important to the troops out there.
I'll hitchhike on your last point. I was very lucky to serve in Vietnam and come back in one piece. I was wounded 3 times in one day. And by the way, there's no talent in getting wounded 3 times in one day. As my dad said when he talked to me in the hospital, he said, "Frank, it didn't take a lot of brains to get wounded 3 times in one day. What the hell were you doing?" And, of course, I couldn't respond to that. But through those experiences in Vietnam, carrying dead and wounded Marines and fighting hard to stay alive and do the right thing in support of the mission, which was to recover the one company that had been essentially annihilated. And then following that, my time as the first task force commander in Somalia and seeing the ravages of war, the efforts, negative efforts executed by the warlords, you start to wonder about what the heck is really going on around you. And the impact on each and every one of us is you walk away with some form of stress, or in my case, post-traumatic stress, or it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And for me, I learned how to deal with it by simply camouflaging the emotion. But anytime, night or day, something could trigger that. And I was fortunate to have had command of a platoon and a company and a battalion and essentially a regiment, what we call a Marine Expeditionary Unit, and then commanded the 1st Marine Division and, as I said, all the Marines in the Pacific and the Arabian Gulf. As I became older and continued to get lucky in positions I had, my focus principally was on my mission and the troops and our readiness to execute our mission. But in my private time, every day, it was like it happened every morning, every day, the experiences flash back in terms of my experience in Somalia and Vietnam. But you learn to deal with it. And you learn to deal with it because people around you reach out, embrace you, share their love with you, and help you along the way on this path towards recovery. And I say that because our mission, as I read to you, includes bringing veterans, all services, any war or any situation that caused stress in their life, as well as first responders. And everybody knows the first responders deal with emotional issues day in and day out. And we're all about trying to bring people together. And the key words I use are connect, educate, and empower. And that's about bringing these folks, veterans and first responders, together with horses and creating a healing environment. And it works. It's worked for me. I have been through the program.
That's amazing, because there's a lot of vets out there who don't know how to handle that stress and don't know who to turn to and where to go. And this is a great opportunity. We're going to take our first very short break of the show. And when we come back, we're going to learn more about Horses and Heroes and what you can do to help out. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Quality of Life radio show on WSTU 1450 and WPSL 1590. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, welcome back to the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. I'm here with Lieutenant General Frank Lubuti, CEO of Horses and Heroes of Southeast Florida. Thank you for joining and tuning in with us this morning. So, Frank, tell us a little bit more about Horses and Heroes. I know there's a big event coming up. We'll get to that in just a minute. Share with our listening audience a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much again. We bring veterans and first responders together. And I might add, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, but we bring our clients together once a week for 90 minutes. And we talk about horses, horse behavior, horse attitude. And I mentioned earlier, that we try to focus on connecting, educating, and empowering. The empowerment piece starts by the educational side, where we help people understand the behavior, attitude, conduct, etc. of a horse. And over time, and we do this for a period notionally for 8 weeks, the therapy occurs. We don't talk therapy per se, and we're not a riding club. But what happens when you connect the veteran or first responder to the horse over time, it creates this tremendous connection, this therapy that occurs, although we don't teach therapy per se. And I'm just so proud that the concept that we employ here, and it's led by a wonderful person, Karen Woodbury, who is equine assisted learning expert and has done it for 20 plus years. And equine assisted learning is an experimental learning approach that promotes the development of life skills for educational, professional, and personal goals through equine assisted activities. And the activities are connecting with the horses. So that's at the heart of what we're all about, and it's been very, very successful. As I said, I've been through the program myself. Right now, we have 2 groups that are joining us for this 90-minute a week event. One is from the Banyan Treatment Center here in Stewart, and also through our contacts at the VA in West Palm Beach, we also have veterans who are in the local area who join us once a week as well. And I try to get out and observe what's going on. I stand back and let Karen work each session because she does it so very well.
So it's an 8-week program. And how long is it for each
90
day?
90 minutes.
So it's a 90-minute day?
90-minute every day.
Every day.
Once a week.
Okay.
Every day that we run the program.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the cost of the program?
Cost free.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So
there's no charge to the veterans. You mentioned before we got on the air about sponsorship. That is certainly one of the challenges for me, is to reach out to people. I'm not a great salesman, believe me, but I need to reach out to people, talk about our program, and ask for their help financially to support our program. We have 3 horses. Those horses are owned by Karen. Karen deals with that, takes care of that, as well as horse care. We are at a stable that is in Palm City, and that costs money. So if you look long-term at a program or campaign plan, what we're trying to do is raise money to support our efforts with the horses, the horse care, and the stables. And to that end, we are programmed and prepared to support a great event on the 29th of October at Camp Valor from 4 to 7 p.m. to raise money. There'll be wine and food and dancing and a band. And we encourage everybody to think hard about joining us. You can go to our website, which is hhsef.org, and you can purchase a ticket. And we just be so delighted to and happy to have you join us for that special event.
So Frank, tell us a little bit about the cost. So if you wanna come to that event, what's it cost to get a ticket, and where and they can buy the tickets right at that website, hhsef.org.
Yes, the tickets are $125 a ticket.
Okay.
And you go to our website and you can register there and join us on that Saturday on the 29th of October,
all right,
4 to 7.
I'm going to certainly be buying 2 tickets myself, at least, Frank, and hopefully, I'll take a look at the sponsorships as well and see if there's anything we can do on that front. We've done a lot of sponsoring nonprofits this year, but we'll see how we can do that to support you as well.
Yeah, one of the great strengths that I've received over the last 6 months or so, and it's from the Stewart Chamber of Commerce. They've been very supportive of us. Joe, who is the CEO there, couldn't give us more support.
That's great.
He is just, and his staff, I might add, they've been absolutely terrific in every way. And I think he will help us through his staff to get the word out on this event on the 29th of October.
For sure. And we'll spread the word. And then also, there in Palm City, you might want to talk to Missy Campbell, the CEO, the director for the Palm City Chamber of Commerce. So you might want to reach out to her.
That's
since
great.
The event is in Palm City, and I know she'd be able to help
Thank you so
give
much.
you some assistance there
great
as
idea.
well. So for those of you that are out there listening, and you do have a small business and you're looking to sponsor this event, it is certainly an opportunity for you to give back to for vets who in some cases have given all. So it's a great opportunity to see the horses up front and to see the great opportunity, what's going on with this great nonprofit, connecting, educating, and empowering. I love that. And I meant to ask you before also, one thing going back to the military, Colonel Helmore, did you ever run across his path?
Yes, I did.
That's amazing. Amazing story right there. So you have enough content to probably do maybe several books. Maybe not just one book, Frank, but I would love to learn more about your history.
I would tell you that I've thought about writing before I get too old and forget my wonderful experiences with my troops and officers, men and women of all the services, as a matter of fact, not just the Marine Corps. And I'm giving more and more thought to that. But at the end of the day, what stands out for me over 35 years and then my other experiences when I left the Marine Corps is that, and I'm not being falsely humble, the lion's share of the credit for anything that I achieved or that my organization achieved, lion's share of the credit goes to the officers and troops around me who were never shy about telling me when I was about to run the train off the track and gave me good recommendations. And that started in Vietnam, because in Vietnam, as a second lieutenant infantry officer, I relied on my sergeants and corporals who became my coaches and friends over the years. And every year, on the anniversary of the Battle of Operation Buffalo, and again on the Marine Corps birthday, 10 November, I call every living member of my platoon and say, "Hi, it's Lieutenant Labuti, and I'm calling to say thanks for saving my butt, and God bless you and Semper Fi." But I'm serious about that. I know who I am. I know my skill sets. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and I'm just proud to have had the opportunity to lead Marines over the years.
That's awesome, and you embody leadership because you're humble about it and you give credit to where credit's due. So kudos to you, sir, and I appreciate all that you've done for this country, and now what you're doing for veterans as well. So that's absolutely amazing. So again, October 29th, you want to mark it in your calendar. It's in my calendar. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be supporting Horses and Heroes Saturday, October 29th at Camp Valor from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you cannot, for whatever reason, you're not able to sponsor, buy a ticket, $125, goes to a great cause. Frank and I both look forward to seeing you there. If you got questions, Frank, how do they reach out to you if they've got other questions and besides going to the website?
They can send me an email, labutifrank@gmail.com, LIBUTTIFRANK@gmail.com. Or you can call me on the phone, 256-529-7642.
Fantastic. I love it. So we're gonna come back to you in a little bit. There's some other questions. We like to call what's it called? Stump the Chump section of our top 10 fun facts about Labor Day. We'll see what you know about Labor Day. I mean, you know so much about the world. We'll see what Frank knows about Labor Day. Let's do the quote of the day, Evan. Go ahead. I think that's a really great quote. People need to listen to this one.
All right, hold on one second here. You caught me off guard. Let me go back to that. Quote of the day. Each person comes into this world with a specific destiny. He has something to fulfill. Some message has to be delivered. Some work has to be completed. You are not here accidentally. You are here meaningfully. There is a purpose behind you. The whole intent is to do something through you.
Powerful.
I like that.
Powerful.
Where did you get that from?
I get two different quotes of the day that come to my inbox. Mm-hmm. And I saved that because that one is really...
That sounds something like Dr. John Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just saw him this weekend.
Did you really?
In person.
Where was this?
He was at Christ Fellowship.
Fantastic.
And that is something...
He's a great speaker.
Oh, that is something he would say.
Great speaker.
Yeah.
And I just look at him whenever, we
Yeah.
read this quote.
Good stuff.
All right. A fun health fact. We come up with these great fun health facts that people have no idea about. And especially, this is tough. This is basically, what I do day in and day out is about healthcare insurance, and protecting your quality of life and health. And it is absolutely amazing to know that the United States of America spends 3 times more on healthcare than any other country in the world. They spend an average of $9,240, the United States, and the average life expectancy here in the United States is 79 years of age. Now, maybe Frank knows the country that spends the least at only $33 on health care per person per capita. It starts with an S and ends with an A. Somalia. Somalia spends the least, and the average life expectancy is 54 years of age. The highest life expectancy is in the Principality, I've never heard of this one before, the Principality of Andorra, which borders France. Their life expectancy is at 85 years of age, and the per capita healthcare spend in that country is $5,723. And then right behind the Principality of Andorra is Japan, with a life expectancy of 83 and with a $3,816 a year spend per capita per person. So looks like Japan and the Principality of Andorra. Have you ever heard of Andorra? You have? Okay, so of course it's not surprising. All right, now, did you know? We got 5 more minutes before we get to so we're going to talk a little bit about Labor Day. Not sure why they call it Labor Day, because probably few of us really labor on Labor Day. I did out in the yard.
I was here.
You were here working?
Did the morning show.
Look at you.
Got to be here. Somebody's got to open the microphone.
Law enforcement and military labor's on. That doesn't matter. Rain, snow, sleet, or hell, or what day.
They have no holidays.
No holidays at all.
No days off.
Security of our beloved country.
That's
stay on, stay on. Somebody is always
on guard.
On watch.
You better believe
to execute whatever it takes to defend our
country. The tomb is the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Yep.
Not a day off.
Absolutely. So we're going to start with, as you mentioned earlier, you alluded to that in 1882, this is where Labor Day started. So 20,000 disgruntled New York City workers from varied industries took off work to march because they had enough of their unsafe working conditions after being forced to work over 12 hours per day in very precarious work situations.
Yeah, not good at all. Oregon was the first state to observe Labor Day, making it a statewide holiday.
And it's amazing that I've been on this planet for 55 years and not yet been to Oregon. It's on my bucket list. I got to get out there.
You travel all over.
Washington. I do, but Oregon and Washington State are the two, and Idaho. I've not been to Idaho either. And I've not been to North and South Dakota.
Never been there.
So those 5 states are on my bucket list, Frank. I'm sure Frank's been to every single state in the country and in every country in the world. All right, let's see. Which president made it a federal holiday? President Grover Cleveland made it a federal holiday on June 28th, 1894.
Wow. The New York City Central Labor Council still puts on a Labor Day parade held near the location of the original 1882 march.
Remember that? Remember those marches?
Not really.
No.
Only in my history books.
Labor Day is observed on a Monday. Why do you think holidays like Labor Day and Memorial Day are on Mondays?
Long weekend.
You got it, Frank.
Bingo.
It is because they can
ding.
enjoy a nice 3-day long weekend. Very good.
Labor Day continues to celebrate nearly 164 million people age 16 and over in the nation's labor force.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
But there's still a lot of people that are not working for whatever reason.
True.
Not sure.
That's true.
Why, but you have something, Frank, to share too? Okay.
Nope.
So this is it. I had. Did you have hot dogs over the weekend?
I did not. I would like to have had.
Hamburgers?
Nope.
Nope.
I had some good steak, however.
Okay, beautiful. Iggy, did you have hot dogs or hamburgers? Ribs, okay. What did you have?
I had short ribs, and wings on the grill, but a
Okay.
very minimal.
I understand.
Because of
You're on the diet.
Yes.
You're looking slender and
Yes.
sexy.
I feel great, man.
You look great.
Thanks.
All right. So 818 hot dogs are eaten every second from Memorial Day. I know, right? From Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Wow.
818 hot dogs every second.
That's a lot of Oscar Mayer
Oh,
wings.
my. Amazing.
All right, I'll do 53% of Americans left town for Labor Day weekend, while over 150 million enjoyed a cookout making all those hot dogs.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
And then during the 1950s, 35% of the workforce belonged to unions compared to about 10% today.
Lastly, 52,000 serious car crash injuries occurred during the Labor Day weekend, with an average of 456 fatalities. And, I bet we could almost bet our bottom dollar that a lot of those are alcohol-related.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's a shame.
Very unfortunate.
It's amazing the number of people. There's more people I heard left out of town this Labor Day holiday than ever before in history. I think people are getting tired of being stuck.
Cooped up for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's amazing the number of people. I couldn't imagine driving anywhere on Labor Day. Forget that. Or flying, for that matter. I mean, my God.
Flying's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So we're going to take our last break of the show. When we come back, we're going to just cover 4 important events, what happened this day in history, and then we're going to get right to some of our information we want to share with you about individual health insurance as well as Medicare, the annual enrollment period, what to do, what not to do, and what to look out for. And you're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show live here in WSTU studios, and then also broadcast simultaneously on WPSL 1590 AM. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show. My God, we got Frank has so many interesting stories that he's sharing with us during the break. I mean, I can't wait to sit and talk with him more about his experiences. So before we get into some of that, the insurance content that we talked about, we want to share what happened this day in history. I think most of us know from the history books the infamous Benedict Arnold. So in 1781, he orders the burning of New London, Connecticut. In 1901, President William McKinley was shot twice in the chest in Buffalo, New York, and died about a week later. In 1915, the first tank named Little Willie rolls off the assembly line in England, 14-ton, and I think it went about, 2-3 miles per hour or something. And then 1997, some 2.5 billion TV viewers around the globe watched Princess Diana's funeral. She died at the age of 36. So, anyway, those were the days that happened on September 6th. So, we're gonna talk a little bit about real quick. We've got 17 minutes, and then we're gonna chit chat with Frank Labuti here just a little bit more before we sign off. But I just want to remind two sets of people here today who are watch our show and who listen and tune in. Those of you who are under 65, and those of you that are 65 and over. So for those of you that are 65 and over, you have a very important date. Frank, he goes, well, about 77 years old. You're not 77, are you? My gosh. You got to tell us a secret later. So if you're 65 and over, you have, well, of course, you're on TFL, TRICARE for Life, so you don't need to worry about anything. But for those of you who are currently on a Medicare plan, then you need to consider your options, because now there are new plans coming out again for this AEP, which begins October 15th through December 7th. So whether you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or you're on a Part D plan, you should have a review. If you are on, and I'll tell you why. If you're on a Medicare supplement plan, you do not need to do anything but continue to pay your premiums. So we see a lot of people that get into trouble who are on Medicare supplement plans. They see these commercials. You see these pitchmen on TV, the football Hall of Famers and the TV celebrities, and trying to force you to call this 800 number because it's all free. It's crazy. It's nonsense. Very misleading. So be very careful. And by the way, most of the people that do that, unfortunately, it's called rapid disenrollment. So there's about 40 people who do sign up, don't realize what they're signing up for, and then ultimately have to disenroll and contact Medicare because they enrolled something that they had no idea what they were doing. So that's why it's important that you work with a local independent agency that specializes in Medicare, or an independent agent. We have roughly 350 agents that work with us throughout the state of Florida, in other states as well, including Virginia and Texas and California and so forth. But we have independent agents that can help you on your Medicare journey. Now, it is complicated. It's convoluted. It's confusing. And if you take the road alone, I guarantee you'll probably end up on a wrong plan. There's no reason to take the road alone. We do not charge for our services. So your annual enrollment period is the opportunity where you can take to sit down with an independent agent, review your current plan, see what's working, is there anything that's not working. And then also on the Medicare Advantage plans that have Part D incorporated in them, the formulary or an individual or an independent standalone Part D drug plan. Listen, the formulary changes every single year. What may be covered this year may not be covered in 2023, or it may be covered at a higher tier level. So it is important that you get it right. So just reach out to Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020, and we would be happy to have one of our agents work with you and help you and be your guide with your Medicare planning. Again, 772-210-1020. We can start taking appointments. We can talk to you beginning October 1st, but we cannot enroll you in a different plan until October 15th through December 7th. And then your new plan will begin with an effective date of January 1, 2023. Now, for those of you who are under 65, and real quick, going back to those of you who are on a supplement plan, typically I recommend that you do nothing with your Medicare supplement if you're on a supplement. Kind of like TRICARE for Life. You set it and you forget it. Now, with Medicare supplement plans, if you're on the wrong plan, or maybe your premiums are too high, they're escalating, you want to be very, very cautious and cognizant of the fact that if you switch plans and you go to, say, a Medicare Advantage plan, you may not be able to go back to your supplement plan again. There are very, very small opportunities where you can, and typically you have to answer health underwriting questions. So if you have a pre-existing condition, so what we see traditionally is a consumer who turns 65 will try to find the least expensive health insurance plan or Medicare plan. because what happens is a lot of carriers will come into the marketplace. Now we got like over 24 carriers in the state of Florida who have been in the marketplace for less than 2 years. So what they're doing is buying a large block of business at a reduced premium, at a reduced rate, to get a lot of people on the block. And then what happens is the claims start coming in, and now what happens is the premiums start going up. And oftentimes they go up double digits, and it can be very, very costly. So it's why it's important to make the right decisions the first time, because the decisions you make today can last a lifetime. But if you do have questions about your supplement, we can guide you and talk to you about that. But traditionally, we would advise you changing your supplement plan. But again, you got to make sure that you're working with the right person, the right agency to provide you the right counsel. Now, going back to individual health plans. If you're under 65, so now due to the IRA Act that President Biden just signed into law, part of that means that now you will have an opportunity to get credits, tax credits, which is also known as a subsidy on your ACA plan, or also known as Obamacare. So if you have an individual plan, or maybe you don't have a plan yet, beginning November 1st and ending January 15th, you can enroll in an ACA or a marketplace plan that we can help you with. There are new carriers that are out with new plans that are out for 2023. So make sure that you pick up the phone, you call us, Owen Insurance Group, at 772-210-1020. You do not have to worry about paying a dime for our services. We will give you some information, we'll counsel, we give you some advice, and you can do with that advice however you would like. But we can help you to do the enrollment. We'll find the right plan for you depending on your doctors, depending on the drugs that you're taking, the networks, and so forth. So again, you don't have to take the road alone. Taking the road alone can be boring, and it can be lonely, and it can be cost prohibitive. And if you make the wrong choice, I promise you, it is not a good place to be. But we'll do the best we can to provide you the help that we can to put you in the right plan for this open enrollment, whether it's ACA health insurance open enrollment or for your Medicare open enrollment. All right. I want to go back because I asked you a question, and you just answered it with yes. But I'd like to know more, and then and I want to hit more before we close up and button up the show on the horses and heroes and get that information for the latecomers who are just signing on to the show. I am very happy and honored to have Frank Labuti with me, retired Lieutenant General, United States Marine Corps. He's done so many things. He should be writing a book, and I don't know why he doesn't have a book. And then on the break, we were talking about Somalia, and I'd like to learn more about that, because we talked about one of the health facts, that Somalia is one of the countries that spends the least on health care, and the average life expectancy is only 54. And it's a horrible situation to be in that country, unfortunately. But it's amazing, though, that there are people out there like Frank Labuti who spends his time and helps those that need the help, right? That are less fortunate than some of us. So we appreciate that. And I remember, the 7th Cavalry, the 7th Cav, the Gary Owen. So there was a gentleman, an insurance agent in Arkansas, who is just mesmerized by my name. And he says, Gary, you should get a second R in your name and, and have the real Gary Owen instead of one R. So, but it was a great movie with Colonel Hal Moore and We Were Soldiers, and a true depiction of what happened in Vietnam. And so how did you run across Colonel Hal Moore? Well, General Hal Moore.
Oh, it was some time ago, and it wasn't a sit-down dinner or long conversation. It was just an opportunity to say hello and salute him smartly and thank him for his service. A great American, great leader, great combat leader.
Yeah.
And a guy who demonstrated in ways that I have articulated here how you've got to focus on the mission, but mission has always been defined as first, and then taking care of the troops as second. My attitude on line 1, it's mission and troops.
Yes.
And that's so critical in terms of understanding the risks of your strategy or your tactics, whatever it may be, and how you can execute your mission properly at low risk to bring the troops home again and again. Again, a great American.
Sure. Now, on your Horses and Heroes program, I know you have an 8-week program. You have 3 horses. So how many people can come to this and do this program? I mean, obviously, there's a big need out there, Frank.
The notion is that we would, again, as I said earlier, it's once a week for each group, and it's an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And typically, and notionally, I should say, we'd like to see 6 to 8 clients, veterans or first responders, in each of those groups. And we think that's the optimum size to affect the training and the connection that I've talked about earlier.
And then Karen Woodbury, tell us a little bit about Karen. I know that she
is a caring, loving person. If you asked her what's her thing, she says, I love horses, and I want to make a difference in this program called Equine Assisted Learning, and she does a magnificent job. As I said, she's got many, many years of experience. She knows her stuff. She's a great communicator. And as we say during our sessions, safety is rule number 1. Safety for the client, safety for the horses. And she is just, as I said earlier, I don't want to overuse the word magnificent, but she is truly magnificent in her ability to teach and coach and help people understand the great value that I believe our organization is providing to veterans and to first responders. It's a wonderful thing to observe. It is indeed a noble effort.
What would you say to those veterans and those first responders out there who may be listening to us that maybe have trepidation in picking up the phone and calling you to look at this program? What would you say to them?
I would say put your fears aside. Understand that this is cost-free. Understand that there is value to our program. It has been demonstrated repeatedly, starting with hundreds of other folks like myself across the country. We're proud to run this program in the Stewart, Palm City area, but similar programs have been exercised and have been very successful from California to New York. It's proven to be a successful program, well worth your looking into. And when you look into it, you'll understand this is something that would be very beneficial in terms of creating the calm and the peace and the ability to deal with yourself, your friends, your relatives, your community, and your business associates. We talk about being in the moment, staying in the moment, and that's critical to what we're all about.
That's fantastic. Huge opportunity. If they wanted to go and let's say that they're interested in just learning more, maybe they want to go and take a look at the horses or go to the location. Where do they go, or who do they contact, Frank?
They ought to contact me or Karen Woodbury. Again, I will repeat my my phone number and also our website. It's hhsef.org, and my phone number is 256-529-7642. But if you look at the website, you'll get a very good idea of what we're all about. And if you have any questions, please put your fears aside. This is a good thing.
Absolutely. So one more time, we'll give you the website so you'll have it. HHS as in Sierra, E Echo F Foxtrot.org. HHSEF.org. Great. And then also make plans on supporting the event October 29th at Camp Valor from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I've got three little fingers pointing at me, and I got 3 minutes left. So I just want to, and Frank, go ahead.
No, I just want to say, in terms of our focus groups, there are 1.4 million veterans in Florida.
Wow.
You got to believe that some of them, if not many of them, would be it would be very helpful for them in terms of coming to grips with their own experiences, traumatic events or other, whether it's in war or other events. And our program, I guarantee you, will help all veterans in dealing with that, as well as first responders.
And many of you know a vet, so if you think they need help, please have them go to the website, or you go to the website, check it out, and maybe set it up for them to pay a visit. It is a great opportunity and great program. And then in closing, I just want to remind everybody that you can also go to our website and learn more about us and what we do at Owen Insurance Group. It's very simple, oweninsurancegroup.net. Somebody had held hostage the oweninsurancegroup.com website, which I unfortunately had to pay large sums of money to get that domain, so we're going to be using oweninsurancegroup.com soon. But you can go to oweninsurancegroup.net and learn more about us and see our team at the local office. Besides Medicare insurance and life insurance, health insurance, group health insurance, we do dental, disability, accident, hospital insurance, and so forth, and disability and annuities. So check us out. And if you got questions, again, we do not charge for our services at 772-210-1020. And we have independent agents throughout the United States and throughout the state of Florida that can help you and be your guide. If you've got questions, you can call us. And also, we started a nonprofit as well called MedicareJourney.org. So check us out, www.medicarejourney.org, to learn more about your Medicare journey. All right. So the time has come. I told you, Frank, it'd be a quick hour on the show. So don't ask me who's going to be on my show next week, because I don't even know. But I guarantee you we're going to have another great guest on the show. And Tom Boove and I will be back in the studio talking to you more about health and life insurance planning. And listen, guys and gals, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Thank you, sir.